everybody, welcome back. Attack. Today's awesome video is brought to you by me. No sponsor, just me. But that's not gonna curb my enthusiasm for these top 10 upcoming buy-to-play competitive games. If you didn't see our other list for free-to-play competitive games, you might want to go check that one out as well, before and after. But this list is going to focus on the games that you have to buy. Yeah, a lot of these are going to be on console, so there's going to be a box copy of them. But regardless, these are going to be games that have a huge amount of potential to be competitive and almost certainly will have a competitive atmosphere at the minimum. They're big games, they're AAA games, and that's why they're buy-to-play. So if you're looking for a competitive scene, there's probably no more certainty than in these games. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so coming in at number 10, we've got FIFA 16. Now FIFA is a big series, and well, soccer itself, or football, depending on where you're from, is just very huge of a sport. So as an esport, FIFA is, well, definitely potential, and there are tournaments for it. However, there is a little bit of controversy with the whole FIFA organization going on right now, so maybe that could help the video game, maybe it's just gonna hurt the actual physical sport. Who knows, but regardless, either way, FIFA is definitely on track to still be a competitive game, and hopefully still will be. Now at number 9, we have TrackMania Turbo. Woo! Now what really makes TrackMania different from all the other racing games out there is because it goes above and it literally goes above and beyond, guys. You're literally like flying through space and time and the skies, and it's just absolutely out there. It's completely ridiculous, and that's what makes it really fun just to watch. Even in a non-competitive sense, it's just really fun. Other racing games are a little bit more simple comparatively, so it's pretty cool to see that TrackMania is coming out with a new title, TrackMania Turbo. At number 8, we've got Street Fighter V. Now this for a fighting game is just so well known. There is no particular niche that this game falls into. It is kind of like the fighting game. It's Street Fighter. Everyone knows Street Fighter. Every single civilization on the planet pretty much knows about Street Fighter. It's hugely accessible, and its formula really hasn't changed too much, so that's why I guess a lot of people are really excited that 5 is just kind of barely tweaking the formula, and for the most part, just really overall polishing it up. If you're looking for a solid fighter, there's no better than Street Fighter V. At number 7, we've got Doom, which historically has had a sort of off and on love affair with the competitive scene. Number 3 didn't quite do hot, but classically, Doom has been a very popular game, so I think a lot of people want a competitive Doom, and I think the developers want it as well, because Doom is even coming with custom maps, and it seems to have a very arcade focus. It seems like it's going to be a very big, uproarious game that's going to be really fun to watch. Yeah, sure, the campaign's going to be silly, cool, and a little bit demonic and gory, yes, but fun, and I think the PvP is really actually going to be the true focus of the game, being even more over the top than previous Doom titles, surely, and definitely over other shooters. Next on the list at number 6, we have Gears of War 4. Now, historically, Gears of War has been a very competitive series, and it definitely drove sales for the Xbox 360. The Xbox One really needs some competitive games. Xbox was a huge proponent in the esports scene as it was growing, and Gears of War 4 has the potential to make it grow even more, or at least relive a little bit of its glory days. It's looking good so far, so let's hope Epic and Microsoft Studios can pull together at least one more time. At number 5, we have Halo 5 Guardians. Now Halo 4, similarly with the Gears of War series, didn't do that great. But this revamp, this new trilogy, still has some life in it. With the new console, both Gears of War and Halo 5 hopefully will be bringing exactly what players have wanted from the originals with a little bit of something new, an evolution of the series. From the trailers, from the gameplay, it absolutely looks like it's going to be that case. And it seems Halo 5 in particular has a very big focus on the competitive scene. Coming in at number 4 is For Honor. This game came out of nowhere this E3 and really showed a true amount of originality that we just don't see, especially in competitive games. Vikings and samurais and knights all duking it out against each other, but instead of having button mashing or simple skill actions like we had in Assassin's Creed, we actually have an unprecedented level of finesse, which is really unseen, maybe only rivaled by Chivalry. So if you're a fan of those kind of games, which are basically non-existent, then look forward to For Honor expanding the genre. At number 3, which really shouldn't come to anybody's surprise, is Call of Duty Black Ops 3. The Call of Duty series has always been a very large contender with the esports scene. Every single year, it always sells well. And its repetitive formula is actually what keeps it alive as a competitive game despite changing thematics. Overall, Call of Duty is a really fun casual game, but it's because it can introduce the game at a casual level and then bring it up a notch, and then also have these amazing competitive plays is what makes it such a great seller, and that popularity in turn is going to fuel its esports scene. At number 2 on the list, we have the new Star Wars Battlefront. Third one in the series, this new Star Wars Battlefront is promising to be epic, honestly, and it looks amazing. It's supposed to be made for the new generation of consoles, so there's everything to hope for in this title, but there's been a lot of backlash because it seems like they're cutting down on the players, they're cutting down and trimming a lot of features, but because of that, maybe that's going to enhance the actual esports scene, the competitive nature of the game. Smaller teams, smaller maps, more precision with what actually makes a game mechanical, strategic, and tactical and fun, at least in a competitive sense. Now, at number 1, our final spot here, the best game, the most competitive, or at least most likely to be hugely competitive as a buy-to-play game, is going to be Rainbow Six Siege. Now, this Tom Clancy game was actually supposed to be something wholly different, but they took the game, they retooled it, they changed it around, and they gave it a new focus, a new life here with its esport focus, at least its competitive scene focus. It was also just recently announced that instead of having different customized loadouts, we are actually going to be using characters, which is a huge theme, especially with competitive games now. And for a game known for its strategy and tactics, it makes perfect sense. Now, not only are we going to have really fun gadgets to play with, but we're going to have different characters who use these different gadgets. Different team compositions to go along with that. And overall, it just seems like a really awesome recipe. Yes, Rainbow Six already has an awesome history for competitive play, but now more than ever, it looks like history is going to repeat and then even go to the next level. There are a bunch of shooters on this list with a bunch of different thematics, but Rainbow Six overall mechanically just seems to be the best, and most likely candidate to be the most competitive game. So that's our top 10 buy-to-play competitive games. Like I said earlier, if you haven't seen our free-to-play list, you probably want to go check that out as well. All competitive games are pretty exciting. That's why they're competitive, because they're exciting and competitive and stuffs. But if you have any opinion on that, like new games coming out that you think is going to be competitive, leave it in the comments below. Like and subscribe so that you can stay notified of all these cool top 10s and other gaming goodness that we got throwing at your faces pretty soon here. Please come back, Attack, and be just as excited for the next video as we are. Welcome back, Attack. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 free-to-play MMOs for this year, for 2015, and I think across all the genres for free-to-plays, we've seen so much innovation in MOBAs, in MMOs, in like card games. We've seen so many new things this past year, and hopefully, maybe, probably so, 2015 is going to be just as exciting.